begin with trade season officially beginning. I was super excited to see this. The only thing I wasn't excited about was the fact that we were off the air on Friday, and then this pops up like hours later. Aroldis Chapman from the Kansas City Royals to the Texas Rangers. The Rangers might have the most clear-cut needs and goals at the trade deadline. They can swing the bats. They need pitching. They very much need relief pitching. They rank towards the bottom in ERA, strikeouts. Great way to fix that, AJ, is to pick up Aroldis Chapman, who was talked about as an absolute lock to be traded, but also one of the better swing and miss relievers that you can get, who can make a difference for you in the playoffs as long as he can find the strike zone, because he usually goes through a what the hell's going on for a couple weeks. But what do you think about this?
Just don't let anyone steal home off of him, okay, Scott? All right.
Gotcha.
This is one of those signings with the Royals when they say we signed Aroldis Chapman. You know what you already start doing as soon as they announce that? Looking at when the trade deadline is and where he's going to go, because he had almost no chance unless he was hurt or pitched awful of staying in Kansas City for the whole year. So it makes total sense for the Rangers. It makes total sense for the Royals. There's certain teams I think as a veteran guy you sign with, and sometimes it might be your only place to sign. But when you sign there, you say, okay, I'm getting traded from there at the trade deadline. I can survive 2 to 3 months anywhere, and then I'm going to go to a contender. And this is basically what happened to Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, he knew it right out of the gate. I don't think he was sitting there going, I'm going to definitely carry the Royals to the postseason. I think he was sitting there going, I got to get back in the graces of whatever MLB decided they, wasn't going to give me a job last year because of whatever the Yankees said about what happened at the end of the season. Some of it's hearsay. Some of it's, could he quit on the team? Who knows? But he came out and he's punching out the world, walking a little too much. But that's the beauty of a closer. But if you don't have him in the closer role, guys are a little more impatient. In the ninth inning, guys want to get stuff done, and they want to be able to swing the bat. And so you can throw a few more balls. He's walked a few too many this year because he's going to be outside of the closer role at the beginning of his time with the Rangers.
So will you let him close ultimately if he is locating? Because the one problem for him has been the walks, but otherwise the numbers are spectacular so far this season for him. He's 35 years old. He's got a 2.45 ERA. This is his best season since 2019. 179 ERA plus, average is 100. 53 strikeouts in 29 and a third. So first off, are you putting him in the ninth inning? I mean, you have another good lefty back end guy in Will Smith, but I think Will is less concerned about where he's pitching.
No doubt. I think, yeah, why would you not? The one bugaboo for the Rangers this year has been their bullpen and their closer. They've blown a ton of leads, and they've stuck Will Smith in that job, and he's been good. But you can put a guy in there who's closed out World Series and closed out big games and playoff games and all this thing. You throw him out there and you let him go, and especially because of the year he's having. Now, some people are going to come at you and say, well, it was the Royals. It wasn't high pressure. Doesn't matter. This dude has done it. He's a legend. And then, yeah, you stick him right in there and say, Will Smith, you're a great setup man. Go get the 7th and the 8th.
I think they're gonna pound it at whatever spot in the lineup they're at. I don't know if I haven't watched enough Rangers games at the end. I only watched the highlights of them mashing all over the yard. But Chappie's striking out way too many guys to not have him in high leverage roles. And I think Will Smith, that's his spot. He's been doing well with it. But I think you're right. I think he is more willing to be like, all right, I'll go get outs wherever. And I think that's kind of the new role of what bullpens are. But again, with Chappie's control issues, I think that plays better in the ninth inning. And he's been there. I mean, Smitty's been there too. So it's not, I think you got two great options.
And for me, props to Texas is the last thing I'll say. Thank you for going for it right away and making a deal. I actually think that what they gave up wasn't super heavy. Obviously, one of the dudes is 17, Ronnie Cabrera, toolsy, pop arm, whatever, but 17 years old. He's not like one of the top prospects right out of the jump. And then Cole Reagans, who's got good stuff. His fastball velocity has ticked up a lot because he had trouble locating. But for me, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, they had to give up the farm for Aroldis Chapman. I actually thought it would have cost them a little bit more in terms of prospect capital. No, you didn't think so?
Dude, it's a half-year rental. No.
Yeah, but it's Chapman. He's one of the better relievers.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
That's what a rental. That's why so many teams are going to go and get every reliever possible. They just don't give up reliever. They don't give up that much for relievers. But shocker that the Royals got an outfielder that's got some speed. I don't care if he's 10 years old. Outfielders, Royals, that's what they do.
My bigger question to you all is, before we get into the All-Star game stuff real quick, who's next? Who's going to make a move next? Because this is an early move. And I love the Rangers for doing this, but who's next? Who's the team that's in contention or on the fringe of contention that's going to make the move that then every other team goes, oh my gosh, we're in panic mode, we got to go do it?
I'll go Houston. The Astros are 4 games back of Texas.